the Minnesota Wild podcast, presented by Acrisure.
Eck will not be ready for tonight.
Okay. Brody and Hynes.
Brodeen's not ready either, yeah.
Okay. Has Eck skated since he did before last game, or?
Lightly. Yep.
So no.
It's just touch and go with him right now. Just so he's making significant progress, but I don't think tonight's a good option for him tonight.
So no changes?
No.
What do you like the most about the start the other night? Like the start of the game really kind of set the tone for what you guys were able to do.
Yeah, I thought it was a good start, and it was. I thought, I liked the consistency in which we played with. Throughout the game, I thought we played a fast game. We skated well. I thought our attention to detail was good, and like I said, we want to keep getting better every game. And I thought we were better in Game 2 than we were in Game 1. We were better in Game 3 than we were in Game 2, and our objective is to be better tonight than we were in Game 3.
Is that the best Euros look?
I think he's played. He played a heck of a game, but I think he's played really well in the series. To be very honest with you, his details are good. I think he's filling in well with. He's got some chemistry with Bolds and JoJo. I think he's probably could have a few more points in the series than he does, but from a skating standpoint, a competitive standpoint. The way he controls the ice, his details in the defensive zone and breakouts have been very good.
John, Zuccarello seems to have just this effect on your team. Like, it's a calming effect, if it was. There's a skill effect, obviously. What is it about? I mean, he's 38 years old. He's been in and around for a long time. What is it about him and the way he is that allows him to have that effect?
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to the person that he is, kind of his personality. He's an intense competitor, highly intelligent player. He's confident. I think he's had a lot of success in the league, but he's an older player, and I think he's a well-spoken kid too. So I think the way he talks to his teammates, the way he talks to the team, the way he interacts with the coaches, I think all those, his personality really lends itself to that. And then I think even the way that he plays the game, like I said, he's a tenacious competitor, but he thinks the game really well. Whether it's offensively or defensively, he makes a lot of the right reads. He's got commitment on both sides of the puck. So I just think the total package that Zuki brings as, I think, a person, a teammate, a leader, and a player, it all kind of intertwines to have a good presence within your team.
That personality, what effect do you see it having on the rest of his teammates?
I think that he's just he loves the game. He loves hockey. He likes to be around the group. Like when he's here, he has fun. But he's also not. He's not like a flippant guy where I think he enjoys everything about the game. But he's very intelligent, and I think what he transfers, he can lighten the mood, but he also, when it's time to work, he works. And I think that's really a good learning experience for a lot of young guys, that it's not you're got to be intense all the time. You got to be intense at the right moments, and there's time to have fun, but there's also time where you got to button in and work, whether it's in the video room, practice, or the games. I think he does a good combination of that.
Staying healthy has been a challenge for him this year, obviously, but when Bogosian's back on the ice and playing like he did the other night, just what does that mean to your back end?
Well, Bogo's he's another guy. I think just with his experience and his personality, I think when he's in the lineup and he's in and around the team, he has a strong presence that way. On the ice, when he's skating, he's a good, strong two-way defenseman. I think his pace of play is high, and he's extremely competitive. He's a hard guy to play against, whether it's off the rush or down low in the D zone. He's a guy that, because of his size and reach and skating, and he's got a little bit of ill will when he gets into some contact, that it makes him a difficult guy.
You've dealt with guys later in their careers where injuries become more and more of a factor. Have you seen some frustration from him this year, or just how have you dealt with that as a coach?
I wouldn't say frustration. I would think disappointment a little bit, like any player when they get injured, and everybody wants to be out there. Unfortunately for Bogo this year, he's had I think repetitive injuries, and they've been extensive. I think it's not just when you get hurt. I think sometimes it's when you're in that recovery process to come back that it either slows or is not as quick as the player would like it to be, or there's a slight setback. I think those are the ones where, for him this year, it got a little bit difficult at times.
Marcus, the other night, Felina was mentioning he kind of felt like it was backs against the wall. Whatever it is, desperation, urgency, can you maintain whatever that feeling is regardless of what the series is?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that, this morning, that it's the playoffs, so every game is urgent. I just think we got to the game that gave us a chance. Like we said, we had a couple days, I think, to rest and regroup and really wrap our head around the series, the improvements that we need to make. And I think, guys came in with some clear heads, really focused on Colorado. And I think that it's, to us, it's not like we played a good game and won the game, but it's a race to 4. So there should be there's no satisfaction with us that, we won a game and, we haven't proved anything until we win another one and another one and another one. That's our job. And it's just to make sure that, our mindset collectively in here isn't about what took place. It's the lessons out of it. And then the focus now turns to game 4. And, like I said, in our experiences with this group, last playoff series, we got better and better as the series went on. This last 2 games, we've proven that again. Game 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Now our job is to be even better and look for those edges. Look for those edges in the games. It's not a ton that changes, but there are certain things and there's edges we want to try to get each game and get better.
John, sorry, in getting to your game, one of the things that I kind of said was you were on your toes. It seemed like you were taking time and space away, just quicker to kind of activate and get to that person, that player that had the puck. By doing that, it's a little risky when you have the skill you're dealing with, but it seemed to really fluster them at times where you just didn't give them a whole lot of time to make plays. Yeah,
we have to play a skating game. I think you're right. We were on our toes and we were playing fast, and I think our details were really good. So I think it's the combination of be able to have strong puck pressure, but in that there's body position. There's guys have to be able to do their job and be on point. But if you're going to be a good checking team, when you're called upon to do it, you have to make sure that you're skating, because that's where you can arrive on time, you can take away lanes, you can take away space, and I think we did a better job of that.
I guess a little bit along those lines, Kirill obviously has a great game the other night, and he scores a lot of points for you guys, but is part of his game fueled by that battle level, by the 50-50 wins that he gets and, the physicality that he can play with too?
Yes, I would say that's probably I think when he's moving his feet and skating, and when he's competitively engaged in puck battles and in the hard areas of the ice, that's what makes him really unique, in my opinion. He's got the skill, the one-timer, he can make plays, but his willingness and ability to get to the offensive net front, win wall battles, puck recovery, a second and third effort on pucks, all those things, when he's doing that's what makes him really difficult to play against.
Yeah. Assume Wallstedt starts tonight.
Yeah.
You've learned a lot about this guy through the course of the year, but this was another little test for him. You don't start a game in the playoffs after giving up 8. I would imagine you're not surprised with the way he came back, but just is that another thing that goes in, like, okay, the maturity, showing maturity and handling all that?
Absolutely. I think the way that he handled the whole situation, even when he and I sat down and talked about what we were thinking and the decision we were going to make, his feedback and input to me was very mature. And then the way he went about and handled it, he took a little bit of rest and recovery, he worked, practiced, came back and had a good game. So that's, he continually shows, improvement like that. I would say out of our 2 youngest players is Yurov, and right now in the lineup every night, Yurov and Wally, and I would say the 2 of them, even Yurov sat a couple games, and he's come back into this series. He didn't play the end of the Dallas series, came and played well. Both of them are mature, very good players, but I think they understand too that, okay, there is a time where you take a step back, but I really feel like they understand it, they have good self-awareness, and then their response and reaction to that is always good.
Another good guy, David Hynes, seemed like it's not too big for him either. It feels like what you noticed from the first game he played in the playoffs till now.
I think he keeps getting better and better. I think it's like everything. It's confidence of, I think you're on adrenaline the first game, and then once you get in, you're on adrenaline every game, but your first playoff game is different. But I think each one you get in, you understand what the game is going to be like, and I think he's adjusted really well. And we felt coming into the series that this series probably would be a good one for him because of the type of series that it's turning out to be.
We've talked about Trennan and the hits he delivers all year. Too bad Middleton had to find out how hard a hit.
Yeah, I know. He just missed that one, but I don't think Middleton knew, or Trenny. I don't think he knew, but yeah, I'm glad he came back. That's for sure.
Probably wasn't intentional.
No, I don't think so. You guys good? All right, thanks, guys.
For an extraordinary advantage in sports, you need a game plan. For an extraordinary advantage everywhere else, all you need is Acrisure. With a high-tech human approach to insurance, cybersecurity, and more, Acrisure helps you take care of what you care about. That makes winning easy. See what Acrisure's extraordinary advantage can do for you at Acrisure.com.